Side characters can be some of the best and most memorable parts of a video game. There to support the protagonist through any and all trials they encounter, while also being that emotional cornerstone for them to count on. In many ways, a good side character can be one of the most integral parts of a story, because without them, the main character would probably have never achieved what they had set out to do. And that's what I'd like to focus on today, the side characters that we all love and admire. The ones that stick with us in our memory long after the credits have rolled, and maybe in some small way are the true heroes of the story. And a big thank you to Grumpy Bear Gaming for the video topic. A link to his channel can be found in the description below.
Harold. Harold is a fascinating and beloved side character in the Fallout series. He has a unique backstory filled with narrative depth and emotional complexity. Originally a human who survived the Great War, Harold's transformation into a ghoul and eventual fusion with a tree he lovingly named Bob adds layers to his character, making him really stand out, even amongst all the other mutants populating the wastes. His journey from a vault dweller to a disfigured nightmare with a symbiotic relationship with a tree is filled with narrative potential, highlighting the game's themes of survival and adaptation in a post-apocalyptic world. Harold's interactions with the player are often very poignant, yet filled with humour, wisdom, and a touch of sadness. His voice and dialogue reflect his long years of suffering and ridicule, making players really sympathise for him. And unlike many of the other characters throughout the series, Harold's presence in multiple Fallout games, even with different developers, allows players to witness his evolution and the impact of his role on the wasteland over time, not only building up his character, but the whole world of Fallout. Also, Harold's story serves as a reminder of the humanity that persists despite the harshness of the end of the world. His enduring spirit, unique perspective, and the kindness he shows to all things is something we should all strive for, and provides a sense of hope in a broken and desperate world. Morgana. The enigmatic anthropomorphic cat of Persona 5 is easily one of my most favourite characters in the whole franchise, and serves as a strong and standout companion for many reasons. Morgana provides crucial guidance and support to you and your group of friends, with his extensive knowledge of the metaverse and its mechanics, as he acts as a mentor, helping the characters navigate this alternative dimension. His insights are indispensable in strategizing and overcoming the various challenges they face, with his feline characteristics and tendencies being a crucial asset to the party's heists. He is confident and somewhat arrogant, believing himself to be a human cursed into a cat form. However, as the story progresses, he grapples with his identity and purpose, making him relatable and bringing a bit more to his personality. He slowly becomes more than just a sidekick, as you begin to root for him, wanting him to achieve his goals. What adds to this is his positivity and witty remarks, bringing humour to your days, even if he does simp for Anne a bit too much. But Morgana's role as comic relief and emotional anchor significantly enrich the game's narrative. His humorous interactions and quirky personality balance the darker themes of the story, providing moments of levity. But at the same time, his unwavering loyalty and heartfelt moments of vulnerability make him an emotional touchstone for both the characters and the player. Mamiya. Mamiya, known as the smartest man alive, is a fan favourite within the God of War reboot/sequel. His wit, wisdom and humour bring a refreshing dynamic to the game. Although visually he's just a wisecracking belt buckle for Kratos, Mamiya provides invaluable guidance and knowledge about the Norse mythology the game intricately weaves into its narrative. His vast insight of the lore helps both the player and characters understand the complex world they're trying to navigate. His backstory as a former advisor to Odin, and his subsequent imprisonment by the Allfather gives him a rich and layered personality. This history makes him a sympathetic figure, whose insights into the gods' politics and past events are crucial for Kratos and Atreus to overcome their challenges and outsmart their opponents. Yet his anecdotes and sarcastic comments break the tension, bringing you closer to him as a character, and brings a sometimes much needed breath of fresh air to an otherwise intense story. Also, Mimir's interactions with Kratos and Atreus help reveal different sides of their respective personalities. His mentorship and camaraderie with the protagonists highlight themes of trust, knowledge, and redemption that help Kratos and Atreus grow closer. He's not just a source of information, but a vital character who enriches the narrative, providing emotional balance and intellectual depth that is crucial to balance out all of the testosterone and hormones flying around. I guess what I'm trying to say is that he's actually the family therapist.
Tifa Lockhart. Although most people remember her for her massive heart, there's so many things about Tifa that make her such a memorable and interesting character. Instead of being the typical magical girl love interest, she's a strong brawler with the ability to kick most people's ass, willing to defend herself and her friends in an instant, while also being emotionally vulnerable enough to support her companions when they need it, and hold enough restraint to think her actions through before being carried by her emotions. She also doesn't fall into the typical trope of self-doubt and apologizing to everyone for not being perfect at any given moment. She's also integral to the story and Cloud's past, making her role in the narrative extremely important and memorable to fans. It also helps that she is a character in arguably the best Final Fantasy game out there, and has appeared in multiple games since, even outside of the Final Fantasy series. And let's not forget, not only is she an absolute boss for running the popular 7th Heaven, but she has this relatable humanity about her. Being a motherly figure to Marlene when Barrett is away really grounds her and makes fans like me relate to her on a deeper level. If you only need one person in your party to get through the bad times, then Tifa should be that person.
Otacon. Although Otacon's introduction is memorable, more for how he embarrasses himself more than for his charming personality or anything, he displays a significant growth throughout the games. Initially, he's a scientist working on the Metal Gear project, and his character comes across as slightly naive and pathetic, though mostly due to his weak bladder and attempts to talk about anime, which generally I'd be cool with, but you know, the whole nuclear crisis thing makes it kinda hard to concentrate. But he eventually evolves as he confronts the consequences of his work and strives for redemption. His intelligence and technical prowess make him indisposable to Solid Snake, providing crucial support through hacking, strategizing, and emotional encouragement. What makes Otacon truly great, though, is his relatable humanity and vulnerability. The heartbreak he feels over the loss of Sniper Wolf in the first game, and the loss of his sister Emma in Sons of Liberty, build his character and fuel his desire to fight. And through his codec calls during the games, he provides invaluable insight into your objectives, while also providing some much needed comic relief. Like comparing the fight between Grey Fox and Solid Snake to anime in MGS1, to his responses as you send him random or provocative pictures during the tanker mission of MGS2, or his tangent about the PS3 using Blu-ray discs when he returned to Shadow Moses in MGS4. He always has something to make you chuckle. But Otacon stood out as a fan favourite to Metal Gear fans for years, because he encapsulates what a true friend should be. Someone who supports you and helps you overcome your struggles, while also being willing to let you know when you were doing wrong, and he will go down as one of gaming's greatest otakus.
Rebecca Chambers. If you ask me, a great character doesn't have to be a fearless and strong fighter, especially in a horror game. They can be scared, clueless, and out of their comfort zone, because I kinda think that's the point. It's that bravery in spite of their fear that makes them a great character. And I feel Rebecca Chambers embodies that idea. she distinguishes herself by being pretty much the exact opposite of the rest of the STARS unit. While Chris, Jill, Barry and Wesco were all older and more experienced, Rebecca had a naive vulnerability and inexperience about her that made her more relatable. And yet, despite her young age, she exhibits remarkable bravery and resourcefulness in the face of overwhelming danger, even to the point that she took down a tyrant on her own, and her medical training and resourceful nature made her crucial in helping Chris during his scenario in the Resident Evil remake. But just as a side note to close this off, I wanted to put in that it makes me kinda sad to see Shinji Mikami say he dislikes Rebecca's character. I mean, fair enough, you don't like creating female characters that appear submissive and weak. I totally get that. But wouldn't the better option be to make her become a strong and independent character because of the situation she's been thrown into, rather than write her off without much chance for her character to grow? It's similar to what happened with Leon in Resident Evil 2, and he became one of the most popular characters in the whole franchise.
Dominic Santiago. Although not being the main character, I personally feel Dom had a much stronger narrative in the first few Gears of War games than any other character, and without him, Marcus wouldn't have accomplished all that he did. Firstly, his more heartfelt and open personality sets him apart in a genre that is often dominated by Duke Nukem-esque hard men. He's not just a soldier, he's a devoted husband and a loyal friend. His relentless search for his wife, Maria, showcases his vulnerability and humanizes him, making his story arc incredibly emotional. And Dom's loyalty to Marcus highlights the importance of brotherhood and camaraderie in the face of adversity. Their strong bond provides an emotional backbone to the series, driving home the themes of sacrifice and perseverance. His unwavering support and bravery often lifts the team's morale, emphasizing his role as both a warrior and a nurturing figure. Also, I think it's fair to say Dom has some of the most interesting yet upsetting scenes and backstory in all of the games. From the loss of his children on Emergence Day and his wife's death in the second game, to his emotional sacrifice in the third. His tragic tale isn't just a plot device to move the story along. It's a culmination of his profound journey, evoking a powerful and emotional response. Dom's character resonates deeply because he embodies the complexities of love, loss, and loyalty, making him one of the most memorable and beloved characters in not just the franchise, but in gaming as a whole.
Before I end this video, I just want to say, if you ever find yourself feeling like a side character in your own life, just remember that you are 100% fine doing things your own way, and you don't need to have all the focus aimed at you to feel fulfilled within yourself. Believe me, I know that's easier said than done, but just try to think of the characters on this list, or some of your own favourite side characters, and believe that you can be just as awesome as they are, and be content in doing your own thing your own way, because your own peace and happiness is worth so much more than what a group of strangers think. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. It'd be hugely appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.